Welcome into Chatterbox Bearcats. We're going to do this again. We had a little bit of an issue, a tech issue. We're just going to scrap the whole thing. We're redoing the whole damn show. We had some friendly fire. The FC show, I don't know, because their season ended. They came in and ended the live stream somehow. So we'll have to figure that. Maybe they just didn't like what they saw tonight with the Bearcats. I mean, I thought we played well enough to keep the stream up at least. But on that note, we did end the Cincinnati streak, the horrific weekend from hell. We finally got a W in the city of Cincinnati. The Bearcats win it 94-67 against the New Jersey Institute of Technology. First half, it felt like they were sleepwalking, coming down from that big Louisville game where they couldn't figure it out at the end of the game. But then turned it on in the second half. I think there were some good things from this game. You're not going to take a whole lot from a team like NJIT. But you saw Mustafa and Shon Abaev. I mean, I thought they played great. Mustafa Shon with 15 points, 10 rebounds. Shon Abaev with 20 and 4 of 11 from 3, 6 of 13 from the field. Really good showing from both of those guys. And there was a whole cast of characters that played well tonight. Lily, what did you take away from the big W against the New Jersey Institute of Technology?
Massive win. Paul McMillan used to go there. This school has history. Nice bounce back after Louisville, even without our star player, Baba Miller. So, just exactly what you want to see. But seriously, Abaev, it was great to see him get to 20. Also, I just thought, we still got a ways to go here. I just thought the passing was a little better today. We had assists from Abaev. Day had 5 assists. Kreese had 6. Harris had 5. I thought Sincere played great again. What an entertaining player. Like the corner 3, he turns around to celebrate, just clanks. And I'm just any other game I throw my phone, but we're up 30. So I'm like, that's pretty funny. I like this guy.
He's awesome.
He gets his paws on everything. He plays hard.
They were calling his offense on the broadcast Buck Wild. And I'm like, that is perfect because it is just, it's wild. I mean, it's chaos. He gets into the lane. He hit a 3, by the way. Credit to Buck Harris. First 3 as a UC Bearcat. I don't know if we're going to see a whole lot of those this year, but it looked pretty smooth. So that's another takeaway you can have. Mustafa can't
Steph
seem
Curry
to find range.
Should he only shoot from that far? Did we just discover something?
Maybe so. Maybe he's like 3 feet beyond the arc is really his sweet spot. Anything closer, it's not going to work unless he's in the lane. But yeah, I mean, you could take that.
We just got hijacked again. Gosh. So I do want to talk about Cham. You already mentioned him, but I think he's put a couple pretty decent games in a row together now. And it's pretty clear to me now, to see how much different he is than Aziz, even though it is a little similar, run the floor hard. You got the rim protection. Isn't like a true post guy, but he's got much better touch than Aziz. His mid-range is pretty solid. I feel good about him shooting those. It looks fine. They've been going in 7 for 10 from 2-point range. Would love for him to get those 3s going, but they look pretty horrible. 10 defensive rebounds. We don't give a shit about rebounds against NJIT, do we? So let's just, I'll skip over that one. But I do think a big talking point that's going to come out here with the next week or so before Xavier is this spot on the roster where Celestine, Jordy, Atari, who is missing. We're looking for him. Haven't heard any details where on campus he could be, but he's there somewhere. Hopefully he comes back soon and we can get him some reps. But right now, we need we have Abaev. We're committed to him. He's going to be our go-to guy. But we need Atari, Rodriguez, or Celestine to emerge here and solidify that secondary 3-point shooter. The guy that just makes the right plays. And none of them look like that right now, especially Celestine. But Jordy finally got back out there, and I thought he looked pretty decent today.
He did. And it's just going to be a struggle. Does Jordy just look good against teams that aren't overly athletic and can't outmatch him physically? Because he did look great. And he's a guy at 3 of 5 from 3. You'll take that every day of the week for that role. Celestine, they said he's still dealing with an injury. Hopefully this isn't something that lingers. It just seems odd. 11 minutes, he jumped into that starting role with Baba Miller out. Thought this would be a great game for him to knock down some shots. He looked really lost, man. He was 0 for 6, 0 for 5 from 3. And you just wonder. The thing is with him, it's like you look down, he's played so long in college basketball. He's not some young guy, and he played at a high level at California and at Baylor. Career average over 38% from 3. You would think he didn't just forget how to shoot the basketball, because that's really all we need him to do right now, to be there, not be a caution cone on defense. And he's not been terrible on the defensive side that I've noticed, at least. He's just got to knock down some shots. Otherwise, we're going to have to look for other guys to fill that role. So one thing I thought was interesting, though, the Mustafa Shon high pick and roll with Kerr Kriisa. We had a couple of those that were looking really pretty. And you mentioned the differences with Aziz and Mustafa. I think it's night and day, regardless of what we've seen. And I think, I thought there was a lot to be desired from what we've seen from Mustafa so far. I thought he played awesome tonight, but the touch around the rim. I mean, Aziz, it was like, if it's not a dunk, kick it out, brother. Kick the ball out, because you're not making anything within 4 or 5 feet. He has really nice touch around the rim. We saw that a few times, like 6, 7 feet out, the little kind of sky hook floater-ish play. And that's going to be huge if he can continue to knock that down. And he's been great so far doing it.
And he had, like, the one thing with Chom so far that's really frustrated me is when not passing out of obvious pass situations. Like, I feel like most of his turnovers have been because he committed to something he shouldn't have committed to. And I thought he's a little better with that tonight. He also had a really nasty pass towards the end there. I don't know if you saw that skate pass to, I want to say it was Tillery in the corner, maybe before Tillery made his 3. But yeah, just, big man, new team. Maybe he's really easing into this and about to start breaking out. I would love to see that this next week before Xavier, because, that's the big one. Like, for Wet, I'm sorry, if he loses that game, the pressure is going to be something different than we've seen before here.
Well, guess who's trending upwards? It's the Xavier Musketeers. Oh. They just beat West Virginia. They were tight with Georgia. Georgia isn't necessarily, we don't know what Georgia is, but they're certainly a power conference team with a lot of talent. Xavier's trending up, and they hit a ton of threes, and that is our kryptonite. When we play Xavier, they come out firing from distance, shoot the ball really well. So that is going to be no gimme. I think, when we saw them play Lemoyne and like Marist, people were thinking, hey, we're winning this game by, 15 to 20 easily on the road. I don't think that's going to be the case, folks. This is going to be a real game. Speaking of which, Martino's our presenting sponsor. If you want to catch the Xavier game, I don't know if we've officially said it yet, but I think we're going to be doing the live show Friday against Xavier at Martino's. Cold beer and TVs everywhere. Is that anything else that you need in this world on a Friday night? We're going to have it for you. We will confirm the details there. But, man, you look down this schedule, you got Eastern Michigan Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. Eastern Michigan, hey, that's a team. I'm not saying that we're going to lose or it's like a big letdown spot. But, hey, it's a MAC school. They've beaten teams before. Don't overlook Eastern Michigan. Like, let's go in there and get the job done right before Thanksgiving. And then you got, Tarleton State.
On one day of rest, by the way. Like, we play Wednesday. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, well, don't have any hiccups. Come on, guys. Don't do that to me. And then you got Xavier, though. It's like, so you got to be polished, man. Like, that's why things like the Celestine issue is probably the most glaring scenario right now. Obviously, the Baba Miller injury. I'm assuming, I don't think they've come out exactly with what that is. I'm assuming this was really, hey, we're playing NJIT. We don't need to force Baba Miller back in this lineup. I hope it's not some lingering back injury. I was at that game at Heritage Bank, and they had a heating pad on his back for a while. So hopefully, that's obviously the biggest thing that we're dealing with right now is the Baba Miller injury. We need him back ASAP, and we want to get him back before the Xavier game. You want to get all the rust out of when we're playing Eastern Michigan and Tarleton. So those are the two things, man.
And Wes did say it's not long-term, day-to-day. Wednesday is up in the air, though. So I would love to see him back for Tarleton. Like you said, if there's a guy coming back from injury for a big game, I just always have the heebie-jeebies there, because it's just especially a tough way to come back. from an injury. Yeah, it's especially. I mean, he played at FAU last year. I'm not sure they, solid team, but I'm not sure they played in a game like that their entire season. In Florida State, I'm sure they had something like that, but it's a massive game, and you want to have the rust knocked off for sure. And someone who, like, the one player I've seen my entire life as a Bearcats fan that I would trust to come off an injury for a big game, like, and just be their normal self, is Sincere Harris. This guy, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just, every single game, he is. I see why Illinois and West Virginia fans are still tweeting about this guy. Like, he just has that thing that you cannot teach. It's in him. And I thought he played really well tonight. 12 points. He had 5 assists. Should have had more than 12 points. The free throws were slacking a little tonight, but he's got a serious knack for, like, getting to the hoop and drawing fouls. Like, this is nice to see with how fast we're playing. It's good to have some guys that get to the line so we can, take a breather, figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, I would think the one thing with Buck Harris is, I'm running through kind of his game log here, because I know he had foul trouble early.
Yeah.
He fouled out of that Georgia State game. Getting him more minutes on the damn floor. Like, I'm running it down, man. He played 9 minutes in the opener, 15 minutes against Georgia State, 18 against Dayton, 22 against Mount St. Mary's, 20 against Louisville, and had, 20 tonight? Like, get the guy on the floor for longer than that. Obviously, if he's in foul trouble, that's going to change that. But he changes the game. I would love to see, like, the plus minus with Buck Harris on the floor, because he changes the entire dynamic of every game that I've seen him playing. I know it's been a small sample size, but like we've said, I mean, I think every single game we're like, God, I just love watching Buck Harris, man. I don't care if he goes 1 for 8. The guy's just an absolute gamer, man. He's Buck Wild.
Bearcat, like, true Bearcat. Like, so happy we have him. And like, with this team, I still, like, I don't know if we're good or bad. It's bothering me. Like, we need to play real teams more than, just top 10 teams and find out, because while the team itself, like, all playing together doesn't look great right now to me, I am excited about some of these pieces. Like, to me, Sincere Harris just seems like a winner. That's a guy on a winning player on a team that wins games, who gets the job done. He is physically imposing and just very refreshing after the last couple of years of what we've been dealing with. Just really refreshing to watch him play. And then, you've got the old players like Krisa, Chom, Abaev. We don't know how good these guys can be. Like, it's just watching each player singularly is what excites me right now. It's really weird. So I can't wait to play real teams. It's going to be a very long week and a half here.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks, when you have the letdown of, Eastern Michigan, NJIT, Tarleton. It's like, come on, man. Like, let's play some real games. It's hard to get up after that big Louisville game. And honestly, I know it's no more moral victories. I actually came away from that game saying, hey, we can compete. Like, this team is not far away. They're still young. Baba Miller, our best player, our leading scorer, did not play for the final 10 minutes of that game. Like, obviously, that's going to have an impact on how you close and finish a game. I think they have the pieces. The question is, like, I know we did this for the last couple of years. Like, do we have a go-to stud? And maybe we don't need one, but that's the one thing that worries me. Like, right now it's like Shon Abaev seems to be kind of like the guy getting the most shots, but we've seen, Baba Miller, we've seen Mustafa getting double figures. I'm sure our guy Buck Wild Harris is going to lead us in scoring in one of these games. But that's the one thing that, and we didn't even mention Day Thomas. Pretty quiet night for Day, who's kind of been our best player for the last couple of weeks. He just had 6 points, 5 assists though. No issue. Didn't have any turnovers, so you kind of like what you saw. Keyshawn Tillery got a lot of run. I think this is one of those games where you let the young guys get out there. He was fired up. He got teed up. He was flexing in that guy's face like it was the Super Bowl. I kind of liked it. I'm like, all right, Tillery. He's got that dog.
I love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we didn't even mention, I'm getting confused because we had that show cut short. Like, McKinley, I thought was awesome again. Like, really, he looks really, really capable to go in there and not only just, be a solid player, he could really improve your chances of winning. Again, like another winning type player, like high IQ. has good footwork, good post moves. You really like to see that basically from a freshman coming in this early in the season.
Yeah, and someone in the previous show that got hijacked mentioned in the comments, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but that the offense just looks better when McKinley's on the floor. And I don't know what the numbers say, but I agree that he just is a smart player, like you said. The post-up game helps a little. His defense, he's versatile. He rebounds well, and he makes that extra pass. Like if you look at his box scores, it doesn't seem like much, but I swear, if we were doing hockey assists, he would lead the team in hockey assists. He's the guy doing the. He might have
the most underwhelming stat line for a guy that I thought has been really impactful for this team. Like if you run down every game, you're like,
thing for us. Like, are we so like the last couple of years were so miserable that like seeing a young guy do this is really refreshing?
Maybe like just make it. It just seems like it's smart basketball. Like, you don't have to be a genius to watch it. You just go like, hey, like that's a guy that I want on the floor. You know what I mean? Just watching a couple of possessions. Yeah. And that's huge. That's huge with the Jalen Haynes injury. Like we need all the depth we can get, but do not bury the lead, Lily. Halveen, career high, 11 points. 4 of 5 from the field, 4 boards. I mean, hey, I know he had some struggles last game about just against Mount St. Mary's, just actually finishing a layup. And one of the one he missed today, he just didn't look at the rim at all. But he's a big body too. Like he's at least serviceable to some degree. That if McKinley and Shon get in foul trouble, at least you have another big body out there. So you got to tip your cap to our guy, the Frenchman, Halveen, for hitting his career high tonight.
Yeah, not a good look for NJIT, right? No, I thought that actually at the end of the game, Abaev and Halveen had a pretty nice link up on a, I forget what the exact play was, but Halveen had a nice finish with his left hand. Abaev had a really good pass, bouncing it off the floor up into the right area for a big man, and nice little finish. I just get frustrated with he gets under the hoop and you think he's going to make it, but he can't jump. Again, Haynes getting back would be nice, but cool for the Frenchman to have a nice game.
Yeah, and I mean, look, again, you can't take a whole lot from this game. They did actually get out-rebounded somehow, 40-38. Not what you love to see. The turnovers were fine. I think they got a little sloppy just because they had a big lead at one point, but finished with 9 turnovers. You can survive that. Free throws, again, going to be an Achilles heel. Sincere Harris, our guy. We love him, but you got to make your free throws, man. Went 3 of 7. We went 67% as a team. You want to get that into the 70s. Not horrific. We've seen much worse, but when we're playing better competition, that seems to still stick around that damn free throw line. Can't figure it out. So again, 94-67. Eastern Michigan on Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, everyone's favorite time for a game against, basically a bye week. But you got to win that game. And we have a similar opponent, right? Didn't they play Mount St. Mary? No, they played Georgia State and beat them by like 25, correct?
Yeah, they smoked them.
So, hey, don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted, fellas.
Wednesday would be a great day to have like discounted beer, right? Like that's a perfect opportunity to have a good time.
It's the biggest, I think, isn't it technically the biggest drinking day of like the entire year is the day before Thanksgiving? Get fat and happy on Thursday, maybe a little hungover. Yeah, lower the beer prices. Do we have that poll
a little pregame
with this university? We'll talk to some people. We'll have our people contact some people at the stadium. We'll get those beer prices lowered for everybody. But Lily, again, 94-67. You beat New Jersey Institute of Technology. You handled the game. You were bigger, faster, more athletic. You made more shots. Anything else that you got to say before we wrap this thing up, before somebody comes in here and ends the stream?
I'm just excited to see we're still figuring out this team. We have 2 more scrubs before Xavier. I really want to see Chom keep getting better, Abaev getting more confident, Krisa being a little more responsible with the ball. He's a fun player, but come on, Kerr. Save the shithousery for the big games where you try to fool the refs when the emotions are high. Because when you do it versus NJIT, you look like a fool. I'm sorry. Like it's quiet in the arena. Everything stands out. And getting McKinley and Tillery on the court and Rodriguez, we got to get those guys on the court, figure out who they are, see if we can rely on them in games like Xavier and games like the Big 12 games coming up. So I actually am going to enjoy these games against crappy opponents. Just see what we got. We're still learning a lot about this team. And yeah,
I guess you're right, man. You can look at this as just finding out with those guys on the lower end of the rotation. Like, can you trust them? Now, if they play well in these games, does that mean that they're going to go play well at Xavier on the road? No, it doesn't. But at least it makes you feel a little bit better when you have to put them in a high pressure situation. But that'll do it for us, Chatterbox Bearcats. Like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Like on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple. Leave a comment. Let's get the banter going. I'm seeing actually, Lily, after Xavier beat West Virginia, now all of a sudden the Xavier burners and everybody's chirping a whole lot more, which I love. Keep it coming. Keep the banter up. That's why the rivalry's fun. So I'm actually excited they're looking a little bit better. This is going to be a big game.
That's going to be – the pregame's going to be fun for that. It's just swept under the rug that Sincere Harris said we're going to win on Twitter, and that's like a huge deal for a player to do something like that.
Oh, Buck Harris is wild on Twitter. Like, he's just talking shit to everybody. Like, he does not – he lets it loose on there.
He talked shit at me when, like, the week he committed because I called him a small forward instead of a shooting guard.
All right, Jack, we heard it from our producer. We are heading out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be live after the game on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Peace.